Hey guys, my name is Mavi and I've spent the last 14 years in the plastic surgery and beauty industry, working alongside top board certified plastic surgeons.
Now I'm an independent patient coordinator who doesn't work for any surgeon. This means I have unbiased reviews for hundreds of doctors and I can help you achieve the look of your dreams, whether that's a supernatural or a video vixen. I use my professional and personal plastic surgery experience to help you look and feel your best.
Join in on the fun as I talk to plastic surgery experts, friends, and real-life patients about all things plastic surgery. Should be fun.
Hey guys. Oh my God. Can you believe that we are going on season 3 of the podcast? I am just so overly happy and excited. I am busting at the seams. I cannot believe that really I put it out there and y'all found me. That makes me so happy because when I launched the podcast, I thought that if I put it out there, they'll find me. And it did. Y'all did. And I love getting your messages to my Instagram DMs telling me about your surgeries with your before and after pictures. I love hyping y'all up. You guys, if you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me right now. It's at Big Butts No Lies Podcast. Go over there. So season 3, you guys, season 3, year 3 of the podcast, and it's going to be better than ever. I have so many things scheduled, so many things that I'm working on, and you guys, the guests. Okay, y'all remember when I told y'all a few episodes ago where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to shoot my shot and, if it happens, if it happens. Well, I've been shooting my shot a lot. And I have had a success with getting some of my favorite doctors to come on the show. So doctors that have been fan favorites that are going to be like super informative on each subject. So if you're on my Instagram, I've been taking polls. What do you want to hear? What do you want to hear? What do you want to see? And I am listening, absorbing it, and figuring out how I can serve you guys the best. So all of that to say, I am so happy for today's episode because one of the things that y'all told me is you want to hear more about your other girls who are having surgery. You want to hear their stories. So what better first episode than one of my very, very best friends, Melanie. She is a mom of 3 and she had C-sections with all 3 of her babies. I have known her lifelong friend. She's been super supportive of everything throughout my whole entire life. We've been amazing friends and I can't wait for y'all to hear her story. She's one of my girls, so I helped her through her journey. And when I was launching the podcast, I was trying things out on her, like, hey, tell me what you think about this. Because she was like, my girl, I know she's going to give me some good feedback. If I need to change something, whatever, I know she's going to keep me in check. So she is willing to come on the show and share her journey, which every time you guys feel honored to come on the show. And I feel so excited that you guys are even wanting to come on the show because now you guys are getting listened to worldwide. When you come on the show, it's a worldwide audience now. And that's amazing. It still kind of blows my mind. Hi, Australia. So what do I have planned for this year? 2023. Let's recap 2022. So 2022 was amazing. The whole year was just launching the membership, growing the membership, and really getting feedback from you guys on what else you need, like what I can help you with. I have been working so hard to put together the course that is going to accompany the membership. They're going to be 2-tiered pricing. I'm still working on the pricing, you guys. I've put a lot of work into this, so I'm trying to figure it out. What's the best way that I can get this out there for you guys, while at the same time offering you a membership where you can talk to me. Like my girls, the ones who are on my membership, they are happy. I'm going to read you guys before the end of the episode. I'm going to read you guys some of my messages, or I might just include them on here on my Instagram post. Just messages that I get where girls are like, oh my God, like if I had not had a team, I don't know how I would have done this. And what do you mean by team? I mean like me, hello, a ring, a dialing, hello, Mavi, y'all need me on your team because there's so many ups and downs during the journey. And Melanie's going to tell us a little bit more about this. Melanie, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. I feel so lucky and privileged to get to be on here with you.
Oh, really? It's nothing. You guys, I love hearing from y'all. I get your messages on Instagram all the time, and I love hearing from you. So that just gives me so much motivation to keep going. Your messages after surgery, those are the ones that really keep me going. So I'm super excited. 2023, so many things to come. I'm working.
It's a brand new year.
Yeah, 2023 is here, and so many plans I have that I can't even believe. Like 3 years ago, this was just an idea.
Right.
Can you believe that? 3 years ago, like, do you remember when I called you and I was like, hey, I think I want to do this?
Yeah, and I was like, really? I mean, my brain does not work the way your brain does, and it's great that it is that way. But I would have never seen this. Like, I'm super, 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 super proud of you. It's like a dream. You're an inspiration.
Oh,
sure.
Thank you so much. I'm just out here trying. You know what? I was actually having a conversation earlier today about my sister and how she loves math. And my sister's like, oh, I love math. Like every time I work on a math problem, she's like, it's like my brain, like I'm flossing my brain. And I'm looking at her like, what? Like math just is not for me. But let me try to figure something out, how to do something that feels like flossing my brain. Like, how can I figure this out?
That sounds like something your sister would say. And I would be like, excuse me, math?
Math? Yeah, how fun. But okay, so in 2022, so many fun things. You guys know we launched the membership, which has been amazing. I am so happy with the membership. It has grown. I've put together the course. So finally, all of the things that I talked to you guys about on these episodes, I've put it in a course where you literally go by section. So you have your prep time, you have your surgery time, you have your recovery time, and you have your maintenance. And so it's in sections. And depending on where you are in your journey, you go through that section. So if you're in prep, go through the prep section and you learn everything that you need to learn before you book your surgery or like while you're shopping. And then when you do your surgery, you go through everything that you need to know around your surgery, like different procedures, different techniques, recovery times, just kind of what you need during that time. And then during your recovery, we'd go through all of the massages and the eating and all of what you have to do during recovery. And then maintenance, it's how do we maintain those results? So a very, very good friend here, Melanie, she is recently had her mommy makeover. So for this episode, I thought it would be so good to bring her on and talk about her journey. So imagine this episode is like something that you wanted to hear before your surgery, something that you're like, okay, we got to put this out there because I know when you're going out there and you're looking for information, there's just so much stuff. And you're like, well, what's relative to what I'm looking for? So for my girls, most of my girls are moms. They're having mommy makeovers or they're doing face procedures. So one of the struggles is always like getting ready for surgery. So you got to listen to the how to prepare for your tummy tuck at home. Mm-hmm. And then you use some of those tips. So why don't you tell us really from like the very beginning, okay, you woke up and you're like, I want to have surgery.
Well, I always knew I wanted to have some type of plastic surgery. I always knew I wanted to have like my breast done because I knew since I was 18 that I was probably not going to have big boobs. And that was okay because there's surgery and I was going to get implants no matter what. But, obviously financially and I was young, that wasn't really a main goal of mine. And I ended up, living my life. I have 3 kids. And even though I maintain my body pretty small, I work out regularly, I eat pretty healthy, it just never was the same after my kids. My stomach was never, super flat. I could never wear my shirt tucked in or show any of my midriff or wear a belt. Like I used to wear a belt with my shirt like at my waist, and I love that look. Well, that look was forever gone after my kids because I wasn't able to do that anymore because I had the little mommy pouch. And so I just decided that, why not? There's nothing wrong with it's out there for a reason. People can do it for a reason, have surgery and change. There's all these different people doing it nowadays, and doctors you can trust. It's safe. I knew other people that were doing it. I knew, Mavi's experience. Mavi's in the industry. I knew of surgery. So I just said, I'm going to do it. And that was like 2 years ago. So I had to plan to make sure, I was set with not having any more kids, financially ready, and I was going to have the support I needed and be mentally ready to do it because I knew it was going to be a big change for me. So that was about maybe like 2 years ago that I said that I was going to have surgery. Like I made my mind up 100%.
And then, so from when you decided, okay, I'm going to have surgery, and then what did you do next?
So I started researching a little bit, like kind of what I was going to, really, I think everybody, I don't know if everybody was like this, but I started looking at the before and after pictures.
Everybody does that.
I was like, well, let me see the doctor's work, before and after. And that's really what I did. And I did that for a long time. I was like, so I ended up saving a bunch of, doctors' names that I was going to look back and when I was more ready to actually go and make a consultation and, do all that stuff. So that's what I did first. And then after that, I waited a little bit. And then waited till my kids got a little older, which they're not even that old. I waited till the baby was at least walking. So he's 3 now. Yeah, 3 years old. And I did my surgery this year. So I waited till he was a little bit older so that I wouldn't have to carry him or do anything like that would, put me in maybe hurt my body in the recovery process or anything like that. So I waited till he was a little older and I was able to just let my husband take care of him and he not need so much of me. And then that was what kind of made my decision once he was there. And once I felt financially that I could probably take it on and do it, I actually started calling and making appointments.
So I remember at this point, you called me and you were like, hey, I found this guy that I really like. And I called his office and I got a quote, right? And that quote, you were like, whoa.
Right. And honestly, that kind of threw me off a lot because they didn't even allow me to make an appointment. It was kind of like the receptionist at that office kind of just shot me down without even knowing. First, she didn't know if I could afford it or not. I think it seemed like they kind of filter or pre-qualify before even making their appointment. So she's just, well, just to let you know, off the bat, Mommy Makeover starts at X amount, blah, 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 starts at this amount, this amount, this amount. And you have to do everything first through pictures and email. So you don't even meet the doctor. It takes them, after you would send all that information in, it took about 2 weeks for him to respond if you qualify for him to do the work. And I was like, obviously that's a turnoff. Who wants to even do all that work just to maybe even get a no, So that's when I called you and I was like, man, this was kind of disappointing. I was very excited. I thought this was the doctor I wanted after looking at all his pictures and stuff like that. And now I'm like, that's such a turnoff. I didn't,
it was like a downer. You were like, man, I was really getting my hopes up.
Okay. Yeah, I was ready to go and make that appointment. And then I got that and I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah. Okay. So that's when I kind of came into the picture and I started helping you. And what I did was I already knew the style of surgeon she was looking for. And something that is not unusual. And when I do on the side, besides the podcast, I do consulting. So I help spas and plastic surgery practices with patient retention and growth, like how do they grow their practice? How do they keep their patients? And what I teach is that like your patient is the star of the show. From the moment you call to seeing them, like that's how you get patients who love your office, love you, love their result. Even if their result is not what like 100% what they thought, but the experience is so good that they're happy. And so this is a perfect example of how filtering on the phone during that initial phone call, they do it so that nobody wastes their time. Like if you, like, for example, that the practice that you called, their tummy tucks was it like 40,000 or something like that?
Right.
So, and I already knew, okay, well, for you, your budget was more like around the 25-ish, 28, 20-ish. Like that's over 30 was way too much.
Correct.
So with her procedure, I knew that she wanted to have a BBL. A lot of surgeons do them, but not all of them know how to do it in a way where the fat stays and where they shape the body and not just like fill the butt up with fat. And that's when you get like, it looks like ant butt. So
Yeah.
I knew she needed to go to somebody who was more like a lipo sculpting, a fat transfer doctor. And who better than my very own doctor? Because she's here in Houston. So who am I going to send her to? I'm going to send her to my surgeon. And y'all already know I love my surgeon, Dr. Herman Newell. He's here at ACPS and he did my surgery in 2017 and I love my results. So I sent Melanie over there and she had such a good experience. So tell me about the difference in that experience once you went in there.
So from the beginning, for one, the office smells amazing. I think whoever goes there will say the same thing. It just smells so good. Like, I love to smell good. I love places that smell good. It just smells really good and welcoming. It's a very nice place. You feel very important just being in the office because it's such a nice office. The staff is all very friendly, very welcoming as soon as you walk in. You know, from my experience, I don't know anybody else that's been there. I never have to wait long when I have gone in there to see him. It's you get in there, you check in, you wait a couple of minutes, and you're in the office. You're in the room already.
A few more minutes and he's in the room.
A few more minutes and he's in the room. And just everything, honestly, it felt very like a luxury experience from the moment you walk in, the moment you check in, the moment the assistant comes in and talks to you briefly and asks you, to put on the very nice, what is it, like a
satin robe.
The robe, yeah. Even the robe is nice. I was very impressed by everything in that office. And that's not even like the doctor or the work that they did.
That's just the experience. Like you're walking through, and this is what I talk about so much. It's an experience. Like you're going and you're spending, this is not a little bit of money. You're spending a lot of money at this place and you want to experience the luxury, that, like they're taking care of you and you're the center of attention. When you're there, you're not like an extra thought like, oh yeah, there's another patient here. It's more like, oh look, our patients are here and they're happy to see you. And it just feels so good and you feel important. And I want to, just because I know from what you have told me that even like, so after your surgery, and this is something I want to talk about in this episode because I have so many girls that it happens to them. So I know you planned like your recovery at home to a T, right? Like tell me all of the things that you did or like the main things that made it so easy for you to recover at home.
Okay. So my recovery at home was about 2 weeks before I went back to work. And let me tell you, I even told my husband, I was like, it was like a vacation. I was having the time of my life recovering at home. I don't know. I mean, I was in a little pain, but I mean, I've had surgery before and other stuff. It's no big deal. I have 3 kids, but it was awesome. And I think it was because I was so well prepared. I listened to a few of Mavi's podcasts on what to do, what you needed. I followed her list on Amazon and I bought almost everything on there, the prep for the tummy tuck and all that stuff. So I still have stuff that I bought from there. I overbought some stuff too. But my main focus though, to get ready for recovery was my kids, to make sure that they were going to be 100% fine. Like to make sure that my kids had everything they needed while I couldn't move or while I was kind of, pretty much handicapped, not able to move or get up off the bed by myself at all. So that's mainly what I did. I made sure that they were going to be ready. I talked to my kid. Well, my boys are small, so they wouldn't understand exactly what was going to happen to me, but they knew that I was going to go see the doctor and I was going to have some kind of something done to mommy that was going to, make mommy not super healthy or not healthy, but
that she wasn't going to be able to carry them or
carry them or be able to pick them up from school or be able to pick them up from the babysitter. So I made them aware that was going to happen so that they were prepared that I wasn't going to be the one doing that for them. And I'm the one, pretty much always doing a lot of stuff for them or making them dinner or anything like that. And then my daughter is older and she understands. So I let her know kind of what I was going to do and that I was going to be, out of commission and that she was going to step up and help mommy out a lot. And she did an amazing job. But I made sure that I had everything that they needed from diapers to just in case they got sick. What if one of them got like the flu while I was in recovery. I didn't want my husband to have to go to the store and need anything. And some of my friends were laughing at me. They're like, you act like you're going to be out for like 2 months. I was like, well, you just never know.
You just never know. And so that's the thing. Whenever you're planning for recovery, you want to plan ahead. Like, that's why in that episode, I tell you guys, like, meal prep your food. I know that was something for you that helped you a lot. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yes. I didn't even think about meal prep my food until I listened to your episode. I was like, oh, shit, I didn't even think about that. So I did that. I meal prepped some chicken because, you told me, protein, make sure you focus on getting in that protein. That's going to help you get stronger quicker and also retain some of that
fat.
Some of that fat, which is, of course, I didn't want to lose that fat after I, did all that.
And let me point out also that she had a skinny BBL. So she was already kind of small, like the amount of fat that that the surgeon was going to be able to get, like we needed all of it to survive. We need all of it to stay.
I know. So I was focused on that too. I was like, I'm not going to lose any of this fat. So I did meal prep a lot of high in protein food like chicken, fish, got a bunch of yogurts that were, those organic, healthy, high in protein yogurts, no sugar, fruit. I just got really clean, high in protein food. And I had enough. I cooked some of that chicken and I had it like in bags ready to go. Like if I needed to get up and go get it myself, it was very easy for me to grab and feed myself if I needed to. Or I had my mother-in-law stay with me and take care of me. But she didn't really have to do much because I had everything pretty much ready. All she needed to do was go get it for me.
Right. Doesn't that make it so much easier? I talk about that. Like when you prepare and ahead of time and it's even easier for your caretakers. Then they have a better experience and they're like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. And really, I wanted her more so to be there to help me with my kids, to cook for them because I wouldn't be able to cook for them. And they're not going to want to eat what I was eating, So that took a weight off her shoulders and my shoulders and my husband's, and my kids were happy. So, meal prepping, definitely you need to do it because it's going to save everybody a big headache.
Yeah, it saves the mental load of, okay, what are we going to eat? Trying to figure it out. What can you eat? Can you eat this? Can you eat that? And when you do it ahead of time, you just beat them to the punch. Like, this is what I can eat. And it's already ready. Okay. Yeah. So then the next thing after that was once you started to feel better, right? You were in your garment, you were like, heck yeah, I'm starting to feel back to normal.
Yes.
So how was that? Because here, what I hear a lot is, okay, because you can't get up. So a lot of girls start to deal with like post-op depression or like anxiety or they're just bored. So during that recovery, how was it for you and until you started feeling better?
Well, honestly, I never felt sad or anything like that. I really felt really good. For me, my recovery, once I started kind of getting up, I stayed up for a lot just to kind of, keep myself kind of moving a little bit. Once I was able to get into my garments, I knew that it was going to take time for the swelling to go down a little bit. So I was prepared mentally to see that I wasn't going to be a super small, like how I know I am going to be eventually, right? Or how I am now, really. You're still pretty swollen a little bit, but I was prepared for that. So I guess I did my research. I kind of was prepared for everything that was coming my way.
Yeah. So when you see the swelling in the mirror, you're not like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Like, is it going to look like this forever? What did I do to myself?
Yeah, it wasn't like super, I think the most part was probably my implants because one of them dropped way sooner than the other. And that, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, what is going on here? Maybe I put too much pressure when I was trying to get out of bed. I freaked out for like a little bit.
So, and that's, let me tell you guys, whenever you get a breast augmentation and they do the implant under the muscle, that implant stays really tight and high for a while, a few weeks, sometimes up to 6 weeks for it to drop into place. You start your massages and you do all these things to help them drop into place. But it's very common that like if you're right-handed, that side comes down a little bit faster than the left side because you're not using that arm, that muscle as much. So It's super common. And I had to talk her off the ledge.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, maybe I messed myself up somehow, but Everything's fine now.
Everything's fine. I'm like, it's fine. It's going to be fine. Just give it a little bit of time. Up to a year, even up to a year, your implants will look different from post-op day 1 to post-op day 3 months to 9 months to a year. By a year, it's like dropping into place, fluffed out, looking really nice and natural.
Right. I will say, honestly, just in this last 2 weeks, that implant has dropped some more because it was still a little bit elevated, and now it's
Dropped even more.
Yeah, now they almost match 100%. So I can't wait till like the whole year. I'm pretty sure because I was still a little concerned. I was like, no, it's still a little high, but now in this last 2 weeks, it dropped.
Yeah, see, I told you it just takes a little bit of time and patience, and you guys, it'll get better. It just needs time and healing, and that muscle needs to relax. And like for liposuction, the swelling needs to go down. For the tummy tuck, your swelling needs to go down. Okay, so then you started to feel better. You got in your faja and you started doing more. And I think was it you when you went back to work that you started to have a little wound delay?
Yes, I did. I had some wound delay, and he said that it could vary what was causing it, but it was mainly on my tummy tuck incision that there was, I guess the cells weren't really fighting off the suturing, and then I also started doing the massages, and I think the massages were great, but some of the chemicals that she was using or the style or the equipment that she was using on the actual incision was hurting me versus helping me. So he did recommend me not to do the massages until my wound was 100% healed, which it is now. And once I stopped the massages, I think it was mainly the equipment she was using.
Okay, that's really important for us to talk about because I hear it from all of my doctors, all of my surgeons in my DMs. They're like, what is it with y'all using? Why are they using machines on fresh tummy tucks? And the answer, I don't know. It's a technique that's coming from like Colombia and Mexico and Venezuela and the DR, where they just do things differently. And that's why I tell you guys, like I told Maria, like listen to your doctor. Dr. Newell he recommends massages, but he doesn't recommend them right away. He doesn't want you to have them right away. So he usually lets you win like a week or two in. Mm-hmm. And then I guess that's when this wound delay started happening. So it's so important. This highlights how important it is to have a good relationship with your surgeon and their staff. Because what happened was Maria saw this and she immediately sent a picture to her surgeon's staff and they helped her. They addressed it. Hey, this is what we're going to do. And wound delays are not uncommon. Like it happens a lot. It happens more often than not. And it's sutures that are not being dissolved quickly enough. They like pop out. It looks like a little pimple or it just look like your incision's not healing there.
It looked like a little pimple. And honestly, that's another I will say about you and working with Dr. Newell and his staff is the response was amazing. Like any kind of concern I had, anything like that, the response time was on point. Like I didn't have to wait. I didn't have to call twice. It was within that call. Usually somebody got to me, or within that message I would send to one of his staff, they would get to me and they would try to, if they felt that I needed to go in. There was one time that she did feel like maybe you should come in. And then when I did go in, it was the next day. They even were able to possibly see me the same day, but my work schedule didn't allow that. So I went in the next day. And then that's when he told me, you know what, let's just don't do the massages. I don't recommend the massage. I recommend a different type of massage, not that kind. But, I was kind of aware of it, but I was just going with, I'm going to say the cheaper route, cheaper route. But yeah, the machine that he was using.
It gets pricey. Aftercare does get pricey.
Right. And it did. And that's one thing that you also have to be prepared for is the aftercare expense when it comes to the massages. But once I stopped doing that, the healing was pretty instant. I just needed to leave it alone. And that's all it was.
Yeah. And once you leave it alone, you go back to normal, you start eating back to normal. It usually closes up and it's an afterthought. It's gone. But also, okay, so how was it? How did you feel before she started using the machines? She was only doing like hand massages, right?
Yes.
So how was it for you How many days post-op from your tummy tuck and lipo were you? And how was it for you that first time getting a massage?
So I was, I believe, 2 weeks
Post-op.
post-op. And then for the first, before she started using the machines, it was just for hands. And it was amazing because I felt the first day that I did it, there was this, I went to use the bathroom and I had to go pee and I peed like so much.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think it was more like I don't know if it was the water weight she was able to get out of me. I don't know what she was able to like make my body let go. And my stomach instantly, the swelling went down significantly. And she even helped my boobs like kind of drop in a better place. Like it felt really good. I know that some people have said that it hurts, but it never hurt me. And I think that I have a higher pain tolerance, is what she said. But it felt really good to me. It was very relaxing. My body felt better. I almost felt like once I started walking, I didn't feel any pain, like not pain, but soreness. It was a good feeling afterwards.
Yeah. So those massages, you guys, even if you don't do them immediately after, and you're going to hear so many different recommendations. Oh, get your massage within the first 24 hours after your liposuction. Get the massage within the first 72 hours. Get it into the first 2 weeks. Don't get any at all. Like there's so much conflicting information out there. And that's why I always tell you guys, you have to follow your surgeon's lead. He is the expert. He knows exactly what he did to your body. And like, this is the perfect example. The massage therapist started using machines too soon and it started to delay her healing. She stopped it and she healed perfectly. So this is a lesson for a lot of us out here that maybe you shouldn't let them use the machines on you so close to surgery. How many days post-op were you?
When she started using the machines, it wasn't even a month, I don't think. Maybe just
too soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally always recommend just doing the massages, not with the machines. They add machines to help inflammation for it to get rid of it faster or different types of things. And really all you need is the massage to get that fluid to your lymph system and for your body to clear it out. That's it. Like that's all you need. So be cautious of packages with machinery in it and just do the massages. Just get the massages first. So
I did, and the massage did help even with my mobility. Like I felt like I could move better when we were just doing the first week after just those hand massages. I did I think 3 or 4 in that 1 week, and I felt like my ability to move was better too.
Yeah, because you're not as tight. Like you're like, your body doesn't feel so like swollen and tight, like pressure.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it was. So, I mean, and the doctor did tell me, he's like, the results are the results. They will be the same with the machines or without the machines. My work is good,
And we know it is, Dr. Newell. We know it is.
He's like, the results will be the same with the machine or without the machine. I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. So you guys, this is whenever I tell you like, oh, y'all ask me about J plasma. Y'all ask me about these other things. And I'm like, the surgeons that I worked for were so good. They didn't need none of that. Like they didn't do any of the extras. Like they're masters. They're like artists. I don't know how to explain it. And the experience that I had at those practices and at these like luxury practices is what I want for y'all. And compared, Melanie, how much did you end up paying for your surgery?
It was, man, I kind of forgot, honestly. Was it like 27?
27? Okay. Yeah. And compare that to the quote for 40 that you got from that other place and the complete different experience.
Oh my God. It's a 180 because it was pretty much like they were shutting the door for me, before even before me even meeting the doctor. That's just it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Like, why would I even want to do business with you? You don't even want to, I don't know. It just was a bad feeling. And over here, it was, like I said, just from walking into the office, into the building, you were walking into a place where
they were going to take care of you.
They're going to take care of you. Yes.
Okay. So one of the questions that I get all the time and I hear from my girls is guilt. And you're a mom. So tell me how did you deal with that guilt of spending money on yourself? Because you guys, this is my friend who will give everything. She's like with her kids all the time. She is the mom of the year.
Oh,
So how did you deal with guilt of spending money on yourself when you had a 10-year-old or a 9-year-old, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old?
I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And I have, my daughter. And then, I honestly, I just, I give them so much of which I will do every day. No problems. No, that's nothing I regret or I take back. I will give 110% to my kids of me. I felt like I deserved it. I deserve it. I've worked hard all my life, even before my kids. I worked hard. I'm a damn great mother, in my opinion.
You are.
And it was just like a reward to myself. I guess that's why I didn't feel guilty, because I felt like I deserve it. Why not?
Like, I'm such a good mom. I'm not doing anything wrong.
I'm not doing anything wrong. My kids have everything they need, if not more. And I am financially able to do it. So why not?
Exactly.
I'm able to do it, able to still live my life, and my kids are healthy. My kids have everything they want. My home is fine. We're fine. And I was able to do it. So why not? I did it.
Why not? And you're like, and I don't feel guilty at all. Tell me how you feel now. Like, okay, how do you feel about that money you spent? Or I like to say invested.
It's a very good investment. It's going to last me forever, because it will last forever. I looked at it honestly like a car. I go and I'm going to go buy a car or pay for a monthly note, because I financed my surgery. We're quick to go finance a car, right?
Exactly. Quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
And it's going to last you for, some years. This is going to last me forever, and it's my body. I get to carry it with me everywhere, and it's me. So why not? Why wouldn't I do that for myself? So honestly, I don't even feel it. It was a lot of money, but I can do it. It doesn't even hurt when I pay for it.
Because you're like, I'm so happy that I did this for myself.
Yeah, it really is no big deal to me personally.
Because you're like, I am so happy that I did this for myself, that I am happy paying that note, that financing note.
Yeah, it is. That's like, it's my gift to myself.
And then, okay, so how did you feel when your boob dropped in place?
Like, amazing. Like, it was like a miracle.
Okay, so she just said earlier, she told me, oh, my boob dropped on Christmas.
Yeah, it was like the Christmas miracle. I woke up and I was like, I always like, I was feeling, and then I was like, that little feeling isn't there anymore. And then I went and looked in the mirror, and I was like, oh my God, it dropped. And now they're like perfectly even. They look beautiful.
You're like, it's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, I was so happy. And it was Christmas, and what better present, than it was like sent from above. It was awesome. It's awesome.
That's awesome. And what is your favorite thing to wear now? Like, what are your favorite dress things? Like dresses, pants? Like, what do you like to wear?
So honestly, I like to keep it very simple but nice. I wear jeans and a nice fitted shirt, like a tucked in nice shirt. Like, I like to wear, those nice, like, I like Shein, I'm sure everybody's I've bought so much clothes from Shein, but I wear a lot of like the nice fitted tucked in shirts with like a belt, and my boots and my jeans, high rise jeans, skinny jeans, all of
the jeans.
Yeah, everything just looks really good on me.
So do you, when you're out and you see yourself, you catch yourself in a mirror?
Yes, I do. And I honestly have to remember that I'm not that girl that I used to be anymore. Like, as far as the body goes, I'm not that girl that's wearing that, kind of baggy shirt. And I have to like look back and I'm like, oh my God, that's me. Jeez, Louise.
I don't even remember her anymore.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to kind of see yourself in the mirror to realize that that's you now, that's you. And it's beautiful. I think it's worth every penny that I spent.
Yay. I'm so happy. Okay. So I know we don't have very much time before you have to go. I really want you, because I want to know. I want you to tell me, how has your life changed since you had your surgery? Like, you always wanted to have a breast augmentation. So how does it feel to have boobs? Like, how does it feel to have a waist? How does it feel to have hips and a butt?
Oh my God, it feels amazing. It's awesome. Like I said, I knew I was going to want big boobs no matter what. Implants were coming, whether that was yes, for sure, since I was 18. My boobs are beautiful. They're nice and up. They look amazing. I love them. What I love most about my surgery, and I'm so glad that I went with Dr. Knoll, is because it looks very natural. It's very, very, that's what everybody tells me, that's even my husband tells me. And that's the look that I wanted for myself too. I wanted something super natural, and I've gone shopping a lot ever since my surgery. So that is one thing I do. Be ready to spend a lot of money on clothes. I don't know how many clothes I bought in this past couple of months. I mean, because your body's totally different. I kind of had to get a whole new wardrobe.
Yeah, tell us about that. Why though? Tell us why.
Because the clothes I was using before were like the loose fitting shirts that moms typically wear when they have the little pouch. My shirts would always go past my belly.
Like flowy shirts. You always liked like those flowy shirts that weren't like body hugging, like kind of loose.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I had was flowy shirts. I really didn't own that much hugging tight shirts. Well, I had to get rid of almost all of them. And now all my shirts are pretty fitted. Some of them are really fitted, which I love. And they're form fitting because I have a really nice body to show now. There's nothing like, even the loose shirts don't look right on me because it's just
too big.
Too big. Yeah, I look like a balloon, honestly, now. So the more form fitting the clothes, the better. So I have to yeah, I know it sounds kind of, whatever, but it is what it is. That's the case. I had to buy different shirts mainly. And my pant size is actually pretty much the same that what I was before. My pants just look better.
They just look different.
They look different. I fill them in where I need to fill them in. And they fit me right where they need to fit me right. And I can actually tuck in my shirt and wear belts. And it's amazing. I can just put on anything I want and go and not have to think about it twice, oh, is this pants going to, start to get saggy or or is my shirt going to cover up, my belly while I'm running around the park with the kids? That doesn't even matter anymore. You just go. I think that's one big thing is just the peace and the freedom to just go,
right? You have it kind of takes off this mental load of oh my God, what am I going to wear? Because you walk into your closet and you can pick, once you go on the shopping spree, you can pick whatever and it's going to look great.
Yes, it is.
And you just feel good, right? Like you walk out of your house and you feel great and you feel good and confident.
It's a whole nother level of confidence, and in a good way. Nothing like to be, snotty, or it's just it's even for me, I even feel stronger now. And I've already started working out. I started incorporating all that back into my routine, and I feel stronger. Like I was able to have surgery. I'm back at work. I'm working out. I'm taking care of my kids. I feel even better, in a better mental space now than
before surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm so happy. Your success is my success. Your success and happiness is my victory.
I know. It's amazing. And I have to thank you for it, because I don't know if I would have done it without you. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if I would have. I probably would have been too scared.
Yeah, because it's scary. I'm so happy. Because it's so scary. And I get these messages in my DMs. They're like, oh my God, I was scared because I didn't know anybody who wanted to have surgery or who had surgery. I didn't even know where to start. And that's why, whenever I started, I can't believe it's going to be third season. This is my third season. That means I'm going on year 3.
Woo-hoo!
Woo-hoo! I'm so happy. And I can't believe it because since the beginning, I've had nothing but women approaching me, telling me oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've been looking for this. I wish I could have found this earlier. And now they're just okay, well, now help me find what I'm looking for. And that's where I'm really finding the success, because with the podcast, I feel so many doors have opened. in this space. Like, for example, you guys know that I am always trying to do the right thing for the show and for my girls. And one of those things that I struggle with is that a lot of the surgeons who are doing cosmetic procedures, not a lot of them, but some of them aren't really supposed to be doing these type of procedures. They're not even board certified. So I'm teaming up with companies one specific company who does like an added layer of investigating of the surgeons before they put them on their platform.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm super excited. It's a partnership that I am working on that I cannot wait to tell you guys about. Season 3 is going to be bigger and better than ever.
I'm so proud of you.
I want to say it. I'm so proud of myself. I can't believe it. Sometimes I'm still like writing in my planner, and I'm like writing interview with a plastic surgeon that I'm going to be interviewing. And then I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that this is my life. Like I get to do this.
I know, you should be so proud. I'm proud of you when I talk about you, and I'm like, yeah, that's my friend. You know that girl? Yeah. That's like it's like you're living the dream, honestly. And it takes so much guts and so much work and commitment and just motivation to do what you're doing. And thank you, because I don't think, a lot of people that I know, that have done this journey too would have not done it if it wasn't for you. And we're all so happy with our results and everything. I mean, I don't regret it, not one bit.
Yay. That's what I love to hear. The life-changing moments that happen after you have your plastic surgery are amazing. Like, I can't even describe it to you guys, because you don't even realize that you're paying attention to these things until you're not paying attention to them anymore. And then you're like, oh, look at all this mental space I have.
Exactly. That's exactly. I'm like, oh, that's not even a concern to me anymore. I don't even care. But
oh my God, look at all this mental space I have. And Melanie, you were with me when I was going through my divorce, and like it was a really hard time in my life. And I can honestly say, and I feel that everything that has happened with the show, with like, you guys, I have listeners in Australia. Hi, Australia. I love y'all. I have listeners all over the world. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. This was just an idea a few years ago. This was just something that I sat down and I was like, how can I do what I love, but be home with my kids? How can I make it work to where I'm free to be with my kids, do whatever I want with them, but still like do what I love, which was helping women through this journey. And I'm going to tell you what I did. I wrote it all down. I wrote it down in a planner with, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to launch a plastic surgery podcast. It's going to be listened to around the world. I'm going to grow a company that helps women all around the world get safe plastic surgery. I'm going to help women not get botched. Like, I wrote all of this down, like thought out 3 years ago, and it's happening. I'm going to launch my product, Bruise Juice. It's going to help women heal faster. It's going to help fat stay. Like, I'm manifesting all of these things, and I sit back and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it really worked.
Yes. That is amazing.
So I encourage you guys, anything that you want to do, you need to floss your brain, do a little brain flossing, and just figure it out. Like, figure it out. You can do it. You can do anything. Nobody is stopping you from doing anything. I had this fear of, oh my God, what are people going to say? What are people going to think? Or what if, like, before my divorce, what are people going to think if I get divorced? Like, well, that's going to look terrible for me. I'm going to, like, I was raised Catholic, y'all. Like, I'm going to go to hell if I get divorced. So it was really hard. And I had to work through it and just be like, you know what? I'm not happy, and I'm not going to be happy here. So nobody's going to worry about me but me, and I have to do it. And that's really like, once I started to like, okay, nobody is going to come save me. Nobody's going to come fix my problems. Like, I have to fix them for myself. Do other people think that, have that feeling too? Or no?
No, I think so. I think I do. That's, how I feel. But I think that there is a lot of people that don't. And that's sometimes they just don't realize it. They just know.
We have so much potential. Like literally all you have to do is dream about what you want to do and do it. And move, people will move out of your way if you're doing. And the thing is, you have to do it with kindness and with like good intentions, of course, not harming anybody.
Right. And I agree with you 100%. If you do it the right way, you do it with good intentions, it will be good. Everything will be good.
Everything will be good.
Everything will.
Hey, wait, didn't you get a new job after your surgery?
I did. I did. So, this year has been crazy for me in a good way. I was working somewhere for a very long time. And honestly, it just kind of happened where I've been there for so long and I felt unappreciated. I think that happens a lot to a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Differences in the way I saw myself and differences in the way the owner saw me. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I did a new job. I'm doing great. I love it. I can't even believe that I actually had my surgery. I was something that I had set in my mind. I had set, I'm going to do it. And I did it. And I had the best team around me, from the doctor, from Mavi, to my husband, to my kids. Even my kids were wonderful. They even slept right next to me on the floor. Like, they're super attached to me, but they never jumped on me. That was one of my concerns, because they like to play real rough sometimes. They never did. If anything, they were helpful. They did so great. I had the house prepared. It was awesome. It was a very awesome recovery. I would recommend my recovery as like a vacation for anybody. All I did was Netflix and do some shopping on my phone. That's why I did not feel any kind of sad moments.
I was shopping. I was not sad at all.
I was not sad at all. I was living my best life in that bed.
I love it. I'm so happy. This episode, it makes me very excited, because this exactly what happened in Melanie's life and story and her surgery and her journey. Like, it's possible for you. Yes, you can do it too. And all it is preparation, determination, and really faith and trust in the process.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
Awesome. I'm so happy you were here with me today on our first episode of season 3.
Thanks for having me. Loved it.
We'll have you back soon. We'll have you back again.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm excited to see what you do, what you continue to do with your new boost of confidence, and see what kind of trouble you get yourself into.
Never know.
Okay. I'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. If you enjoyed this episode, please go on Apple, write me a review. It's the best way for other women who are just like you, who need help, who are looking for information, valuable information on the internet. This is how they're going to find it. So go on Apple, give me a 5-star review if you love this podcast. If you want to support the podcast, the best way to support the podcast is through the website. If you need help through your journey, if you need help finding a surgeon, if you want to join the membership, if you're looking for Bruise Juice, you guys don't sleep on Bruise Juice. Y'all know I have my Bruise Juice 30 coupon code for y'all to use if you're having a BBL, if you're having liposuction, if you're having a tummy tuck, if you need to be using Bruise Juice all over your body. Stop using those other brands that are not tailored for your post-op recovery. Bruise Juice is formulated for your recovery. It's amazing. It nourishes your skin. It helps your fat transfer live. Don't sleep on Bruise Juice. Bruise Juice 30 is the code.
And don't forget, new episodes every Monday. I'll see you then.